So Justice League came out yesterday, and even if you haven't already seen it, you probably heard that it is getting some mixed reviews from both critics and fans, with most people mentioning dodgy CGI, awkward pacing and tone issues thanks to last-minute editing, and a weak villain as some of the movie's issues. It's even at a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics as of the time I'm recording this video, and even though I couldn't care less what score any movie gets on sites like that, I don't exactly think it helps when you have Joe Schmo out there basing whether or not they're gonna see a movie on the score it gets, you know what I mean? Now if you guys follow me on Twitter, then you know I saw the movie yesterday and I actually kind of enjoyed it, but I'm gonna talk about that more in a different video or something. I don't want to get too specific here. Instead, I want to talk about Justice League's mid and post-credit scenes. The first one's more lighthearted and kind of building on some of the characters' personalities, while the other one's more serious and it helps with building the world of the DCEU. Seriously, they're both awesome. Before I start talking about them though, I do want to remind everybody that I'm going to be talking about a movie that just came out, so if you don't want to know anything at all about the mid or post-credit scenes in Justice League, then here's a spoiler tag. Anyway, let's get into it. So the mid-credit scene features Superman and the Flash about to race each other to the West Coast. Superman agrees to the race on the condition that if he wins, Batman said Flash has to buy the rest of the league brunch. Flash responds by saying that if he wins, he gets to tell everybody that he managed to beat Superman in a race. They then take off at top speed before the scene cuts to black, and that's pretty much it. Now the whole scene pretty much acts as a throwback to a bunch of stuff we saw earlier in the movie, like the bit about Batman and brunch as a reference to the first time Barry met Bruce, and how Barry starts rambling about how he doesn't really get the concept of brunch, calling it confusing. The scene itself is kind of a throwback to a couple of moments where it seemed like Superman was about as fast as the Flash is. Like after Superman comes back to life and the rest of the Justice League are trying to restrain him, Barry starts running at him and winds up surprised by the fact that Superman can not only react to, but actually nearly keep up with him in a fight. After that, during the final battle with Steppenwolf and the Parademons, both Superman and the Flash are side by side moving at top speed while trying to rescue a bunch of civilians. The whole scene kind of reminded me of some of the older Superman Flash races back when DC used to show the two of them as about equals in the speed department. Overall, it's a fun scene and I think you guys will really like seeing it play out on the big screen if you haven't seen it already. Now even though the mid-credit scene is definitely fun and all, it's the second scene that really helps to build the future of the DCEU. It starts off in Arkham Asylum, where Lex Luthor's been hanging out after Batman had him sent there at the end of Batman v Superman.
I arranged for you to get transferred to Arkham Asylum in Gotham. They're expecting you.
However, we quickly find out that Lex managed to escape, leaving some other bald guy in his place. We then cut to Deathstroke meeting Lex on a super expensive looking yacht, where Lex mentions how Superman's alive again and working with the Justice League. Because of this, Lex then suggests that he and Deathstroke should form, quote, a league of our own. Now I don't know about you guys, but to me that sounds like a clear reference to the Injustice League, and that is awesome. Now even if you guys aren't hardcore DC fanboys, I'm sure you know who the Injustice League are, or at least have a pretty good idea. They're a group of villains brought together by Lex Luthor, and at one point an alien, that are like an evil version of the Justice League. So kind of like the Legion of Doom, just without the swampy hidden layer. They've shown up in a bunch of other DC media, including episodes of both Smallville and Young Justice, and their origin technically dates all the way back to the late 80s in Justice League International number 23, although that version of the team didn't really have anything to do with Lex Luthor, so who cares. The team's definitely grown over the years though, with different versions including villains like the Joker, Black Manta, Deathstroke, Captain Cold, Bizarro. Now even though the roster for the DCEU version of the team is kinda up in the air, we might have a couple potential candidates showing up in future movies. The previously mentioned Black Manta, Ocean Master, Black Adam, they were all in different versions of the team and are all popping up later on down the line in Aquaman and the Black Adam solo movie respectively. So based on that, it's reasonable to assume that they could make return appearances in a Justice League sequel. Now as cool as the idea of the Injustice League sounds, I do have to admit I'm a little disappointed that it seems like we're not going to get Darkseid as the main villain in a Justice League movie anytime soon, but at the same time I'm kind of glad, if only because it won't stir up the whole DC's ripping off Marvel thing people were bringing up when Justice League was first announced. Remember that? I always thought it was kind of weird considering how Darkseid first appeared in the comics a full 2 years before Thanos did, depending on whether or not you count cameos as first appearances anyway. But anyways guys, that's the full breakdown on Justice League's mid and post credit scenes. If you guys like this video or if you've seen the movie and you want to let me know what you thought about it, then go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. And thanks for being understanding about my upload schedule. I know I've been kind of all over the place recently, but I will talk about it in my 50,000 sub special, which is still happening by the way. I haven't forgot about that. I'm probably going to do a Q&A segment at some point in the video. I'm not entirely sure yet, so if you guys have any questions, you can just go ahead and leave them in the comments too. Otherwise, I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to click that like button, maybe leave me a comment while you're at it, and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to check out any of my social media pages. I've got a Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. All those links are going to be in the description below. And I've also got my last video right there in the middle of your screen, so if you want to check that out, go ahead and click it, check it out. Alright, and I will see you all next time.